right, what's up, guys? This is Crazy Kevin here, and I'm here with Omraan Chaaban. Omraan, how you doing?
Doing well, brother. Thank you for inviting me. And yeah, man, everything is great. Life is good, healthy. And yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Now, talk to us a little bit about how you got into MMA.
So I started at like 2015, 16, first time I went. So I was like 15, 16 years old. I'm 23 now. And like, be honest with you, like I had like, you know, uh, my childhood was a little bit different than others. But like literally I didn't know what MMA was. My brother was telling me about like these fighters, John Jones, and I was like, "Who's John Jones?" And like, I don't know who is this guy. And one day I was watching like him, and I was like, "Okay, seems interested." And then I was like, I never watched UFC, so I wanted to do something like that, like some sport that I can do everything, like fight. So I didn't know what MMA was, and a guy told me like, hey, there's something called MMA. There's like a beginner course, two months. I was like, great, let's go. I went there. I went there for first time, and I was like, okay. Like I wasn't like I'm not the most athletic guy. Like back then I was like never did sport in my life till I was like 15, 16. So and jumped straight to MMA, and yeah, man. After the first training session, fell in love with it, and man, I remember like after I was hanging loads with my friends, and one night when I was coming back home, I literally like it was 2 a.m., 1 a.m. at night. I was I think I was like just turning 16. I decided that I don't want to hang out with these guys. I want to like do something good and just do MMA. And I remember I was going home. We had like little bit of trouble like with friends and everything, but like uh, they were going partying, and like I didn't never felt like I was with them really, just going for sake of going, teenager. So I remember I was walking and I was like, that's it. I went home, deleted everyone, my friends, my best friends, everyone. I was 2, 3 years off social media, and then boom, like my I remember my friends coming here and my mom tells them like he's not here, he's training. I was training literally every day for like 8 hours every day, man. Like I skipped school, like everything. Like I was just training like crazy. So and yeah, man, I moved to Ireland 4 years ago, and I'm blessed. I have a great team in Ireland, and yeah, it's good. It's been very good, man.
And that's definitely a great story, and I'm glad that you're into MMA. Now, on top of that, who are some of the best training partners you have at your gym?
My best training partners, like everybody in our gym is very big. Like even like we have like featherweights that are huge. Everybody is big, but like I train with we have Adam Shelley, Dominic Norcus. He's a young guy, up and coming. He's gonna be good. Leon Hill is there. We have now Dara Ward. He's a new welterweight. Just made his pro debut. I think he's 2-0. He made his debut in Cage Warriors, and then there's a couple more guys. There's Craig, and yeah, there's a couple more guys. I don't want to forget anyone's name, but very good team. Like we have great team, and we have like good, like even nogi, like jiu-jitsu and everything, and it's small team. That's what I like, because if it's huge team, it's very hard like coach to focus. And for me, the most important is my coach. Chris Fields. We are very close with him, and like man, he's like my brother. Like we hang out and everything. Like we are very close, and like he's like the mastermind. He does it all. So I just need to follow his things that he give me.
Absolutely. Now you talked about your coach. Now, how do you happen to find a coach that you can trust in MMA?
It's very hard, man. Like especially like like coach that cares. I always say like I live in the gym, so I'm training like all the time. So Chris puts the time, like he comes at night 11. He puts his kid to sleep. He comes to the gym. We train, like we do pads drills. He texts me about like things like, bro, like he puts so much effort, and like it's very hard to like see that outside because be honest, like he's not getting anything. Like he's not like charging me like, oh, let's do drills, I'm gonna charge you something, he's doing it for the love of it. He loves the sport, and that's what you need. You need like obsessive coach, and man, thank God I have a great coach, very smart guy, and the team is great. You need a great coach, this is the main thing, and then you need good training partners, and I feel like I have that. I have that, and like I'm blessed, man. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Now, with Chris, since you have so many training sessions with him, what is something that maybe he's taught you or shown you that you have implemented in your game?
Man, I think everything that, like, obviously I had a base already when I went there, like I used to like love striking. Like when I went there first times, I was just striking, like just doing striking. And he told me like you have good wrestling, grappling, like why you don't grapple? Like I was like, I want to be like just like pure striker, just KO everybody. But then he told me like man, you need to be great everywhere. He was, imagine you are like all the best guys in the UFC, like the top guys, top striker, top grappler, top wrestling guy. Imagine being those in one. And he told me like, and then I started working, man. I started grapple more, wrestle more, and everything. And like as you see my last fights, I have TKOs, KOs. I have submissions, I have lots of submissions against like very good wrestlers, grapplers. So yeah, man, now it's more like I want to be the best MMA fighter. This is all what I want, and I think Chris is very good at this. He has the mind.
Yeah, no, Chris is definitely a good coach for you, and I'm glad that you're working with him. Now, on top of that, you just had your last fight. It was a title fight. Talk to us a little bit about your last fight and that performance.
Yeah, so my last fight, most people don't know this, but I got the call just before New Year's. Like there was 3 weeks to like do the camp, cut weight, and everything. People don't know this, but I had 3 weeks, so it was a short notice fight for 5 rounds. I always train all year round, we always train. I always stay in shape. Like even after fights, next day like training already. Like I don't care, I'm always training. But like I had 3 weeks to prepare for 5 fives, Never done 5 fives. Uh did my camp, with Chris and the lads there. I went to Abu Dhabi, stayed there for a while, like for like a couple of days, had the fight. The fight was good, it could be better, always can be better. But like, man, I'm grateful what happened, it's 5 rounds. Like most of the guys in the UFC don't have 5 rounds, they don't have that experience. Most of the pro guys here, like maybe they fought for 5 rounds title, but they never went for 5 rounds. It's different, and I finished the guy in the fifth round. So it was very like he was a good fighter, as well. Like he was all right, but I made him look better than he is actually, you know. And like I'm happy, I think it was good in the right time of my career to get that. I'm 23, and yeah, man, I'm looking forward to the next one. And this is good because you know, the first round was very good. I was like finding everything. The second round was going to his way. The third round was going my way. Fourth one was huge to his way. But like the end was a little bit like shady. But like then in the fifth round, I was like, okay, let's finish this guy. Chris told me let's like do this, and man, literally 30 seconds to the round, I finished the guy. So yeah,
It's definitely awesome. Now, with you being in a title fight, how different was that pressure wise compared to any of your other fights?
man, I'll be honest with you. People told me this. Like they told me like all week we did press conferences there. I did interviews loads and the press and people, like when I see people outside, they're like, "Oh, you're fighting for the title. It's a big deal." I was like, "No, this is not a big deal for me. Like literally, bro. I don't care. It's just a title. It's just a fight. Next fight. This is like it's great to have, It's great to have, but like my goals is much more than that. So in my mind always was this is just a normal fight. The only thing that I get a belt and then it's 5 rounds. But I don't care who is this guy, if he's like 8-1 or 10-1. I have to be this guy, I want to be the best in the world, not in that like region. I want to be the best. So I knew there's a great thing, but like it's just the title. It's nothing else. My goal is like much. I have much bigger goals, and this is my plan, man. I went there, and man, like be honest with you, I don't have pressure. Like there's no pressure on me because like I enjoy this. I love this. I love doing media. I love going press conferences. I love the camera. Like I love the process that like I was the main event. I was the face of the event. Everybody wants to watch and top all of that into great fight. That's great for everyone. They told me the guys that was the best, like the best fight in UA Awards history. So yeah,
No, it's definitely awesome. Yeah, and definitely could be a good experience to definitely be at the main event. And on top of that, you did just mention a little bit about Cage Warriors. How is Cage Warriors a little bit different compared to your last promotion you just fought in at UAE?
Cage Wars. It's good in Europe. It's big in Europe. It's very big in Europe. It's good. There's good matchups and everything. But I think myself, we are warriors. They do things a little bit bigger. Everything's a little bit bigger than there. And yeah, man, for me, it's in Middle East as well, which is a huge thing for me. Like I'm Lebanese originally, but I represent Finland and Lebanon. But like it's huge because like I can represent in this big platform, UA Warriors, and man, they are on a run. Like UA Warriors are doing good now. They're very good promotion. They treat you very well, and everything is very good there.
Definitely. Now, in your amateur career, you were coming off a loss, and then you went straight into your pro career right off of that. But you faced a
No,
very tough opponent, right?
no, actually, people don't know this, but I have more than 25 amateur fights, man.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, so in Finland, when we have like amateur fights, nobody puts them in topology or whatever.
Ah.
Yeah, so only those that you've seen are like outside of the country, like in IMAFs that I took. But like, man, I think I have like more than 25 fights. Yeah,
I was gonna say that
like,
would make sense, yeah. Because I was
yeah,
trying to figure out. I was like, well, it seemed like you had a loss and then went straight pro. So I was trying
no,
to see if there was something you saw in camp. That makes a lot more sense.
no, no, man. I have over 25 pro fights. I took many fights in Finland. We have like Finnish national champs, and I won that like couple of times. And like we fight like in one weekend. We do weight in the same day, weigh in, and I was cutting weight.
Yeah.
And like we fight like 3, 4 times in a weekend, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Jeez. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and like I had my first fight when I started MMA after 2 months against this guy who was like training 4 years. He was the national champion like in MMA. He was like 24. I was like 15, 16. It was a middleweight, and I was like weighing like 74 kilos. And this guy was very good boxer. I remember we had the helmets on, and he was going like he won the first round, but I choked him out in the second round. And I never done grappling in my life. Yeah, man, like it was crazy. And then I took fight 2 weeks later, and then I took 2 weeks later fight. I was taking fights like, man, I took many fights. Like I don't even remember how many amateur fights because I took so many. But this is how like here it's like in like these countries is like we take so many amateur fights. Like in England, Ireland, they don't take many. It's like under 10 they go pro. But man, I have over 25 amateur fights, but people don't know this. And then people are like, oh, like you don't have many fights. I'm like, I probably have more fights than most of the pro guys here, like. So yeah.
Why do you say that? Because you said 25 amateur fights. I mean, I've done a good bit of interviews now, and I think, like you said, most of them probably have like 12 max. So yeah, for you to say
Max.
25, yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's definitely a big difference. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I took my first fight when I started like 2 months in, and then I was just going boom, 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 loads. And 2019, I took my first pro fight. But like before that, I was like having like over 10, 12 fights a year. Easy. Like, yeah, there's some year I took over 10, 12 because like some weekend, like the national, you get in 3 fights or 4 fights. And then every couple of weekend there's fights. So you just go and take them. It's three threes, normal amateur fights. But like it's amateur fight, but like in England and Ireland, like everybody puts them in tapology and everything. But like if you search loads of the guys in these countries, they don't have that. But like they tell you like, oh, they have like loads of fights. It's a normal thing here. But like, yeah, I have loads of fights. When I went to Ireland to Chris, I had already, yeah, about 25, over 25 fights.
It won't be hard then to find film on your opponents, then I'm assuming, right?
When I was amateur,
Yeah, yeah.
no, it wasn't like that, bro. So you just apply to go, your
Mhm.
gym applies, and then in the same week they match you with the guy, and like doesn't matter who. Like it's not like oh you have to like this guy. It's just like you go and fight, man. This is how we do it. And like obviously then later when I was 17, I had the permission to do the adults, like fight the full like rules you can hit on the ground because you can't. But when I was 16, 17, I was winning everybody. And then they made me a special thing. Like my mom had to sign like this thing to fight with like adults and like to hit in the ground. And I was fighting. And yeah, it was good. You just basically know he might be grappler, he might jiu-jitsu guy, he might be wrestler, he might be this boxing guy, strike kickboxing guy. That's it. But like it wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna look, watch. No. And like be honest with you, I didn't care because like if I want to be the best, I should beat everybody here.
That's definitely interesting. I didn't know about that kind of stuff with the amateur stuff, so I
Yeah.
appreciate you letting me know about that. Thank you. So on top of that, bro, one other thing I would like to ask you is, I'm a Taekwondo instructor. I've been doing martial arts for about 20 years now, and I've been and I've been teaching for about 6 years now. So my question to you is, with all the guys I have in my gym, what advice would you have to have them to keep coming into the gym, and keep getting better and better?
Man, I think it's the progress. People love like getting better at things. It's not just about like oh learning new techniques. It's not because like mixed martial arts is very like there's not like this secret technique you're gonna do, you're gonna knock everybody out. It's like the simple things. Like when I train, I like to train very simple things like my jab, my right hand. That's it. I love that. There's my favorite shots. There's no like spinning elbows or something, something crazy. Yeah, sometimes, but like I think it's like when you evolve, and especially when you spar and then you do better at this thing. And yeah, I think just like, you become faster, fitter, everything. I think that drives people and they're like, I want to come back, because if they don't, they'll be like, oh, I'm in so bad shape. Even if they don't like compete, like they're normal people, who do like taekwondo or whatever. It's always about like becoming better and yeah, staying healthy. And it's the like journey to just becoming better everywhere. It's especially in MMA. MMA is like there's so many things you can become better. And man, I love Taekwondo. Like, lots of people say to me like, like, have you done Taekwondo? I'm like, no, I never done Taekwondo. But like, I love Taekwondo kicks and like, yeah, I have a good actually. One of the coaches in Finland, he was the Taekwondo national champ. No, national coach here. I was training with him today actually. And I love to train with this guy. Always when I'm here, I call him. I was like, "Can we train?" And his daughter as well is like she's in the national team. She's very young, but like man, it's so nice to train with them because they're so fast, and the kicks. I love this. I love this style. I use it actually loads.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's always my one thing as a Taekwondo instructor. I always like watching the fights, and then if there's always that one fighter that throws like a side kick or something. I'm like,
Yeah,
yes, there it is. So it's
so
awesome.
good.
So Aaron, last message to the fans out there that are going to be watching this video.
Enjoy. Watch the journey. It's gonna be interesting, and Ultimate Fighter is gonna drop on June 4th. So I'm looking forward to everybody see that as well. And yeah, man, just hopefully everybody is healthy and yeah, have a good one. God bless.
So thank you so much for coming on the show. We really appreciate it, and we're looking forward to you on the Ultimate Fighter. And again, thank you so much.
Thank you, brother.
All right, take care. Have a good day.